Okay, now we're going to look at lecture module 2. Oh, hey, look what artificial intelligence actually is. So module 2 here, we're talking about AI. And I love that perspective of AI, artificial intelligence, has artificial personalities, and we have to develop artificial relationships with those AI personalities so that we know what they're good at and not good at. So AI is created by vast amounts of statistical computations, okay, and probabilities. And it's really a predictive engine of what is the next predicted word based upon all the words that have come before it, which is weird because it seems intelligent. It seems like it understands stuff. It seems like it's more than just like statistically this is the next word that comes after happy. What word, if I was to say, I love, when I get home, I'm really going to my happy place, right? Somehow you did that prediction, right? You know that the probability of the next word is going to be place. Oh, I love it when I'm down in Santa Monica to go out to the Santa Monica Pier, and I love to get a hot cup of coffee and stand at the end of the pier and watch the surfers as they're in the water catching butterflies. Right? You're predicting words. And I was throwing them off by choosing the non-predicted choice. Hot dog, ocean's fine, surfer's fine. Catching waves was the right predictive choice. And AI is doing that, and it's taking into consideration all of the words that came before it and the context and based upon this. But they don't know how it works. They know how to build it, they know how to grow it, they don't know how it works. And it even surprises the people who create it. Like when they, AI really kind of kicked into gear in 2017, Google discovered a principle and they wrote a paper called Attention is All You Need. Attention is all you need. Okay, it's like this paper they wrote. And basically, previous to that, AI was giving equal emphasis to all of the words, but they realized we have to give more emphasis to some stuff and less emphasis to others. And it's the same for us as humans, right? If I was to give the same emphasis to everything, so let's bring back up that poem that I read, and I'm going to give the same emphasis to everything. What do we like, Gemini? Here's the same emphasis to everything. Are you ready? The bread cannot rise until the wheat consents to fall, and the root must tear the dark earth open just to learn the name of green. We know the quiet voluntary pruning, the patient chisel against old wounds, the slow sweeping of yesterday's ash from the hearth. Like, you're like, I have no idea what this dude's talking about. It's all got the same emphasis, right? But if I give different emphasis, draw your attention to some stuff and not other stuff, it starts to make sense to you. The bread cannot rise until the wheat consents to fall. And the root must tear the dark earth open. Like, I'm giving different emphasis. And, it's an analogy, but in the same way, that's how machines understand stuff. They give more emphasis to some stuff, less emphasis to other stuff. So that's how AI works. And another great AI video is Anthropic. I don't know, where's their channel? Here it is. And so there's a Claude channel and there's an Anthropic channel. If you go in and you look at their videos, I'm going to call it box. See what comes up. Tracing the thoughts of an LLM. That might be it. And one of these videos, I'll find it. I have to switch. Hold on, I'm going to pause this so you don't have to wait for me. I don't know where the video is, but basically the video is somewhere on Anthropic's website. It might be this one, but it basically says we don't know how AI works. And so even like the creators who created AI, they were like surprised. 2017, there's that paper, Attention is all you need. And then like at one point they were surprised they trained the AI and then the AI came back and could speak every language in the world. And they were like, what? Like they were surprised,
So it's just a program.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a program that's on the computer.
program and hardware, and it runs on really powerful, really big computers, and we access it, through the web. And you could download it and run it on your own machines.
The AI is reading everything that's on the network, so it knows everything on the world. So I don't know why we surprised know all of it.
Yeah.
If there was no internet, though, it wouldn't work.
You could download and install some AI locally. And so you could have AI model running on your laptop, not as powerful as the big ones, or on your phone, or these flock cameras. How many people have heard of flock cameras? What the flock is going on? You've heard of flock cameras, right? So there are these cameras that are all over, and what's the flock website where you could see a map of them? DFlock, right? And they are automated license plate readers, and there's 131,776 in America. And this is where all the flock cameras are that read license plates. And so you could scroll down, and I don't know how they get installed or what, if it's government or people, but they process on the machine. Like, yeah, let's hear it. You know about it?
Yeah, I have it on my phone, and there's another one that's called Block Helper, and then it shows you like ways to go around it. Like, I'm trying to go somewhere to not get in the camera.
It's funny how they're all on the north side up there, River Park.
Yeah, there's some up there, but like if you look right here at, I was looking at Woodward Lakes, they have cameras at all the entrances because they want to see who's coming in and out, right? And if a house gets robbed, they're going to go back and look at the footage. And it's really kind of a new thing. Like I even have on my phone, I installed cameras around my house because you could get cameras like, like here, these cameras. So you could get like 2 cameras, outdoor wired, 2nd gen, 3rd gen. I don't know which is which. Oh, outdoor wired 2nd gen. So you could buy this, and I thought you could get 2 for $250.
What was the name of that site? The Deflocker or something?
Yeah, DFlock. Deflock.org. But I put up cameras just because it was part of paid for with our Google plan. And so, all I do is buy the cameras, connect them to Wi-Fi, and it's really interesting. Like I get a little notice, oh, there's movement in front of your house. Somebody just walked by your house. I can see every time somebody walks by our house. Or, this is like a new thing that's just now available and interesting. So AI, you're going to learn about AI this week and what it actually is and a little bit about how it works. And you're going to learn the main goals of AI, from rules to learning to generative AI, why AI can and can't reliably do in 2026, AI across industries and careers, the shift from chatbots to AI agents, what ethics is and isn't, the major ethical frameworks, developing your personal ethics, the hard ethical questions of 2026. And so ethics are standards of behavior. There's ethics and there's morals. I think of ethics as like something that we study in academia. Let's study ethical behavior, or societies have social ethics. And I think of morals more as like your own personal way you live. What are your morals? What are your values? But they're interchangeable. And the most important thing to know about ethics is that you have to think for yourself. You've all been programmed, okay? You've been programmed by your nature, by being born as a human. You come with certain programming. Then you've been programmed by your culture. And so you were raised in a certain culture. There's a macro culture and a micro culture. And if you've been raised in a different micro culture, you'd have different morals, right? If when you were born, you were taken from the hospital and taken home by a family that lived in Israel or Palestine or Saudi Arabia, if you were raised by the king of Qatar, whoever that is, or by Kim Jong-un, you would have a totally different view on life, right? And on how to treat other people. You'd have different morals. And so you've been programmed, influenced by the culture that you've been raised in. And so that really makes you question, well, what if I wasn't programmed right? Should I just believe everything that's been given to me, or is there a way for me to start to think for myself and develop my own moral code? And the only way you could ever be truly free is if you come up with your own moral code. Who do you want to be and why? Right? Starting from a completely personal, selfish interest. Is it in my best interest? Who do I want to be? And why? And the reason I came up with is that my life is deeply dependent upon others, right? We're interdependent with each other. The quality of my life will be determined by the quality of my relationships, by who I know, right? And a happy life is one where you have relationships with people. And this is research. It's the Harvard study of adult development. You can watch this video, the Harvard study of adult development. A great video. Take a picture of it. What makes a good life? This is the longest running study in the history of humanity. And it basically says the quality of your life will be determined by the quality of your relationships. And there's the 1% people right there. That's the 1%. And so if you realize that, okay, my life, the quality of my life depends upon my relationships with others, that comes with implications. I can't treat others poorly and have good relationships with people. I got to have honesty. I got to have integrity. I got to be kind to other people. Being kind to other people allow me to be kind to myself, right? If I'm critical and judgmental of others, people who are critical and judgmental, dude, they're critical and judgmental of themselves too, right? If somebody's mean, bitchy, they're mean and bitchy with themselves also. Like that which is outside is that which is inside. What's it say in the Bible? The inside's outside, something like that, right? But, so you kind of want to treat others the way you want to treat yourself. And the way you treat others is how you end up treating yourself. And that became kind of the foundation for my own moral perspective. Like, okay, and we're pro-social creatures. Like we are not like built to be independent operators. We're pack animals. We like to live in a tribe. And so that all makes sense. That's who we are. That's our nature. So let me align with my nature, be decent to others, do the right thing. But does that mean I'm always going to conform to laws? No, right? Laws can be stupid. And if there's some law, like don't break into the drugstore and steal drugs, right? But I have a family member, if I had a family member who's going to die if they don't get a drug and the pharmaceutical company's charging too much for it, I might break the law to save my family member. And then that is a higher ethical purpose because of my justification. Like my justification for me, I'm making my own decision, goes beyond what the law says is right or wrong. Like I think it's wrong the corporations aren't saving somebody. I know somebody right now, their kids are deaf and they're losing their sight. There's a cure, but the corporation that owns the cure isn't bringing it to market because it's not profitable for them. And that corporation could cure my friend's kids, but they don't want to because it doesn't make money for them. So they haven't brought it to market. Like that would be like infuriating. If your kids were going blind and they were already deaf and you knew there was a cure, but a corporation wasn't releasing it, like that would be like, I'm going to do like PR, press, lawsuits. Like I'm going to go to war with that corporation to get my kids saved. It's my friend, not my kids.
That's the way that almost works. It's just the business they really care about is just how much money they can make.
Well, like the Pinto. You know about the Pinto? The Pinto is a car that was made by Ford where it was built where the gas tank was underneath the back of the car. And if the car got hit from behind, the bumper had a pin that would get driven into the gas tank, sometimes spark, and car would blow up and everybody inside would burn and die. Ford said, well, how often does that happen? Happens this often. We can expect that to happen another 8,000 times with the number of cars that are on the road. How much do we pay each time? We pay $1 million each time. Great, so it's going to cost us $8 billion if all those cars blow up and those people burn. How much does it cost to recall them and fix them all? Costs us $14 billion. Cool, let's just leave them on the road and pay for all the people that burn up. That's what Ford said, dude. And then they got in trouble for it, right? But that's just business. But that happens all day long, right? You go into the military, there is an amount that you're worth. The military puts a value on your head. And if you're not educated, that's a lower value than if you've been trained to be a doctor. You know? It's business. All right. So you'll be learning more about AI and ethics this week.